So when they come to me and I'm working with them one-on-one, they think that the problem is the music production. They think that the problem is the music that they're mixing or the composition. The reality is that the mindset plays the biggest role. They don't believe it's going to work for them. They believe it's a scam. They believe that music libraries like royalty-free libraries are shit. Obviously, they have the pressure of the spouse. So usually the spouse is not on board. Like the wife doesn't want the husband to spend money on a course or spend their weekends trying to compose music because, hey, they have responsibilities, they have kids, they have other things to worry about. And here you have a grown-ass man listening to me, for example, or to some other music licensing guru telling them that they can actually make it as a composer. So, I've done this for so long that I'm like, I'm a little bit tired of promoting this like this. If somebody wants to actually do this, they're gonna have to do their homework and they're gonna have to find me. Straight on, all right? Because I'm way too busy doing my music. I'm way too busy doing what I love to do. In fact, I wanna talk more about my lifestyle, which is the birth of this channel. And of course, in the beginning, I was not talking about the music here on the channel, precisely because of that. I was just like, oh, maybe I don't have to talk about the music. That will be a relief. But then people started to ask me questions like, how do I live here in Greece? How do I live in this beautiful country? What do I do for a living? Like, oh, that's a nice music track you use on one of your vlogs. What is that? And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And slowly I went with it. And now I'm here telling you exactly what I do. And if you're a musician or a composer, or an artist in general, by the way, because this principles apply to any artist. I mean, you could be a photographer, and I can show you exactly how to do the same thing, and with a photography niche, by the way, okay? Or even if you're a video maker, right? It's the same principles. This is the same principles or the same blueprint that you can actually use, all right, in order to monetize your content. Good morning, my friends. I'm running late. I'm on my way back home. It's Monday morning, and I'm going for my morning walk, but I'm running late. And I'm just doing a quick video here for you guys from the same path, the usual path. I'm walking my path, right? I got a question quite recently, or a comment underneath a video talking about the music. If you're new to the channel, I make music for a living. This is how I support myself here in Greece. This is how I got started as an online entrepreneur. So someone made a comment or asked a question underneath one of my videos talking about sync libraries. And if you're new to the channel, what that means is different type of libraries. I'm in the music licensing industry, and what that means is that I compose music for media. I compose music for TV, films, documentaries, even YouTube videos. Now, the way I got started in the online space, teaching about the music licensing, because I'm an educator as well in that space. In fact, I am the #1 YouTube channel when it comes down to stock music licensing. You can Google that YouTube channel. That's how I got started. Documenting my journey as a stay-at-home dad, trying to make ends meet in a foreign country, here in Greece. That's how I got started. That's the story I've been telling ever since. Anyways, I work with different libraries, meaning that I work with stock libraries, royalty-free libraries, which are all the same, and sync libraries, production libraries. In theory, they're all very, very similar. In fact, they are libraries that they position themselves as non-stock libraries or royalty-free libraries, but they are still royalty-free libraries. And a quick example here will be Artlist or Motion Array. All of these libraries are royalty-free libraries, okay? And royalty-free libraries is nothing more than libraries where musicians and composers like myself can upload our music and get paid for it, right? And they say royalty-free because that's a term that is being used, which is a little bit misleading in a way, because what it means for the content creator or for the client, what it means is that they don't have to pay additional fees in order to use that music track. However, some of these libraries allow us composers to actually have that music track register with a PRO, All right. In my case, I am affiliated with BMI, which is an American PRO. I'm going deep into music licensing education here, or music licensing content. And this might not mean anything to you if you're just following me here for my lifestyle content about life of a foreigner here in Greece. But I just wanted to address this here because there's a lot of confusion when it comes down to not only to what I do, but as well from composers and producers who want to get started. In the space that I specialize in terms of education is for absolute beginners, complete beginners, because if you're not able to get your music in libraries like Artlist, if you're not able to get your music in libraries like Motion Array, if you're not able to get your music in different royalty-free libraries, meaning that you pass the review process and you're actually making money with your music in royalty-free libraries, then it's going to be very hard to get your music with a sync library or with an exclusive library, which are, in theory, higher-end libraries, meaning that the quality control is really, really high, okay? That being said, the quality of music in royalty-free libraries has been getting better over the years. You cannot get away with the stuff that you composed back in 2013, for example, where the quality was really, really crap, and anybody can join. Anybody can actually, upload their music to a royalty-free library, and the quality was pretty crap. Nowadays, the quality has been quite high, or has been raised, I should say, and the quality is like the bar is up here now. So the way I approach my coaching, because I do coach musicians and composers, I've been doing this for years, by the way. I specialize in complete beginners, people that have no idea on how to get started in the music licensing industry. And my philosophy is that you start with stock music libraries. Not only that, but you start there and you actually create a revenue from your music right now. Okay, so I work with exclusive libraries. I work with all of them. Subscription libraries, I work with royalty-free libraries, stock libraries, sync libraries. I work with all of them, okay? Because these are just what we do as composers. However, when I got started with royalty-free libraries. I'm gonna say something here that might trigger some of my composer friends, or if you're part of this community of musicians and composers, but the music licensing niche, especially the educational part, is full of shit, all right? There is a lot of division and there's a lot of mismessaging. But then again, that is true in any niche, in any industry for that matter. But the music licensing niche, when it comes down to education and when it comes down to gurus out there saying, don't do this, do that, only work with this, don't touch this library, only work with this exclusive library, never upload your music to this particular library because it's shit, it devalues your music. They're all full of shit, okay? They're all trying to sell you a course, all right? And yes, I do have a course myself, all right? And again, it's for absolute beginners, and this is for people that want to get started. And yes, I promote my course. I promote my philosophy of how to get started in music licensing. However, I have never said to anybody, do not join a sync library, an exclusive library, or any other library. I say go all in on all of them. However, if you want to be a famous TV composer, or if you want to get into the sync licensing world, you must be able to make money as well with royalty-free libraries. All right. I know composers that are not able to get into, for example, Audio Jungle, but Audio Jungle now the doors are closed. But even Artlist, for example, there are composers who are doing very, very well, but they don't have their music, for example, in Envato Elements. I make money with Envato Elements, which is a subscription library. It's a royalty-free library. In fact, we got paid today as I'm recording this. It's the 16th of March today as I'm recording this. Is it the 16th or 17th? I can't remember now what date it is, but it's Monday. And when it falls on the weekend, we get paid on the 15th of every month. This is a subscription library, by the way. And I know composers who are part of one library, they're accepted there, but they're not on the other ones. Like, for example, Envato Elements, which is a library that I'm part of. And all libraries do a great job for us composers because they are in the business of making money with music. However, there's a lot of misinformation out there, like in any industry. Okay, and the way I approach this is to start with various libraries, especially stock libraries, especially royalty-free libraries, because then you can get familiarized with the upload process. You can get familiarized and get used to the process of review, because you are going to get rejected. Your music is going to be put to the test and see if you're going to be able to pass the quality control that these libraries have. And then the most important part is that you must be able to earn an income. So my promise since day one as an educator in the music licensing space has been to earn between $500 and $1,000 per month. That is a reasonable amount of money that you can earn with stock music libraries alone. All right? There's a lot of misinformation out there, or there's a lot of promises that educators are telling other composers and producers of big payouts, right? And the problem with that is that if you are not involved right now with music libraries, right now, then it's going to be very hard for you to approach this high-end sync libraries. It's going to be very hard for you to approach the big boys, like they call it, which in reality is all the same, man. It's all the same. It's just what works for you. Some people work very well with libraries like Motion Array or, Music Beds for that matter, or even Artlist, which by the way has the doors closed as I am recording this. So even if you wanted to join this type of libraries, you can't apply at this very moment. So you're left with very few options. All right. And my advice is to just get started in any particular library. Right? It could be Pond5. It could be V5 Music, which is a Chinese library. And obviously composers have this entitlement, or feel like, oh, my music is so special, I should never upload my music or devalue my music in a Chinese website or whatever. And in the meantime, people like me and my colleagues are making money there. And I'm not trying here to promote certain libraries. I've been as well accused in the past, actually, of giving away where I actually make money with my music in libraries, right? Because I'm actually educating people and say, hey, if you just grab your tracks and upload it here, you can actually start making money with your music. 500 quid a month is a reasonable amount of money that you can actually make with stock libraries alone, with royalty-free libraries alone. How will it feel to make an extra 500 quid, all right, from your music, That seems like a reasonable promise. And it's not uncommon. There's people that do more than that. But, if you're a beginner, you must be realistic. And I hate to use the word realistic, really, I'm not even talking about content ID here. I'm not even talking about other ways that you can actually monetize your music. But to cut the story short, yes, I do work with sync libraries. I have worked with exclusive libraries. In fact, I have composed exclusive albums that are going to be used in different TV shows. And this is music that I just composed for this particular briefs, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be uploading music to royalty-free libraries or to stock libraries, because that's a regular income, man. It is a regular paycheck every single month. And I'll have to be stupid to pretend that my music is being devalued because I am uploading it to a particular stock library or to a royalty-free library, like, I don't know, Shutterstock or whatever, So anyways, this is just a quick video. I don't know why it sounds like a rant. I guess because I'm pumped because it's Monday, but as you can see, I get a little bit touchy with the music licensing content because I don't create YouTube videos for that channel anymore, right? I mean, my last video was, I don't remember now for how long it was. I think it was like a month ago or something. But I'm not creating content like I used to, all right, in that channel. Again, because I just believe that, I've done my job. I have the course out there, If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it, I try not to convince any more composers and musicians on, hey, you can do it too. You know, I've done that in the past for years. I got a little bit tired of these conversations. Got a little bit tired about, you know, how the music licensing space is in terms of education. I'm done with that. I believe I have something else to say. If I'm going to talk about the music and what I do as a composer, living here in Greece as a foreigner, it's going to be with a different angle. And I will certainly show behind the scenes, which I've been doing more here on the channel. I will certainly talk about it. But if somebody wants to learn from me and to learn of the things that I do here in Greece as a composer and musician, then you can reach out. You know, I have it on my website anyways. I have hundreds of thousands of testimonials, by the way, from different composers that have taken my courses and my coaching programs over the years. But the confession is that I got a little bit tired of trying to show how easy it is. Because it is easy. I mean, but if you're a beginner, then you need to know how to compose the music. You need to know how to mix the music. You need to have the right mindset. And when I'm coaching people with the music licensing, with my coaching program, it's almost like a fucking therapy session. Because musicians and composers are so entitled and they're so full of shit. And I'm saying this from experience because I used to be one of them. All right. But they have so much baggage. And usually the people that I work with, they are of a certain age. They have a day job, they have families, and they're picking up music again, or they have a second chance or this hope that actually they can do something with their music. So when they come to me and I'm working with them one-on-one, they think that the problem is the music production. They think that the problem is the music that they're mixing or the composition. The reality is that the mindset plays the biggest role. They don't believe it's going to work for them. They believe it's a scam. They believe that music libraries like royalty-free libraries are shit, that they're not going to make enough money. And obviously they have the pressure of the spouse. So usually the spouse is not on board. Like the wife doesn't want the husband to spend money on a course or spend their weekends trying to compose music because, hey, they have responsibilities, they have kids, they have other things to worry about. And here you have a grown-ass man listening to me, for example, or to some other music licensing guru telling them that they can actually make it as a composer. So, you know, I mean, I've done this for so long that I'm like, I'm a little bit tired of promoting this like this. If somebody wants to actually do this, they're gonna have to do their homework and they're gonna have to find me. Straight on. All right, because I'm way too busy doing my music. I'm way too busy doing what I love to do. In fact, I want to talk more about my lifestyle, which is the birth of this channel. And of course, in the beginning, I was not talking about the music here on the channel, precisely because of that. I was just like, oh, maybe I don't have to talk about the music. That will be a relief. But then people started to ask me questions like, how do I live here in Greece? How do I live in this beautiful country? You know, what do I do for a living? Like, oh, that's a nice music track you use on one of your vlogs. What is that? And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And slowly I went with it. And now I'm here telling you exactly what I do. And if you're a musician or a composer, or an artist in general, by the way, because this principles apply to any artist. I mean, you could be a photographer, and I can show you exactly how to do the same thing. And with a photography niche, by the way, okay? Or even if you're a video maker, right? It's the same principles. This is the same principles or the same blueprint that you can actually use, all right, in order to monetize your content. Anyways, I'm gonna go here because now the wind is hitting and it's gonna get into the microphone and it sounds like shit. Give me a second. If you go to the beginning of these videos in this channel, I was not talking about the music. I was showing very, very little. I tried to not talk about it. Precisely because of that. But then I said, like, you know what? Some composers found my channel because I was not promoting. I'm not cross-promoting anything. I was just literally creating content here about my life in Greece. And then some people were asking me about libraries underneath my Greek videos. And I'm like, oh God, they found me. And then I said, like, you know, I can't deny my true self, my true essence, which is a video that I created, actually that I recorded yesterday, talking about this, don't deny your true essence, okay? You cannot escape from your nature. I'll probably link it here so you can go and watch that video. It's just a raw video talking about the emotional side I've changed, but at the same time being true to yourself and true your true essence, who you truly are. And I am a fucking composer and creator that lives abroad. So I decided to just talk about it here on the channel as well, about the music. With a different twist though, because this channel is not gonna be turned into a music licensing educational channel either. I'm not here to convince people about music licensing. And to put it out there, I'm not even here to convince people of anything. You know, whether you wanna move to Greece or not, or learn Greek or whatever, you know, I'm here just documenting my life, my story. I'm creating my own fucking movie here on YouTube. And today it's Monday, I'm going for my walk and I better rush back home because I'm gonna take my daughter to school. And then, hey, I'm gonna be making some more music, all right? I'm gonna be uploading some more music to different libraries. This is what I do, okay? I guess this is a longer video than I expected it to be. But all I have to say, my friend, is that there are so many opportunities out there. Okay, for us creators, for musicians, composers, photographers, artists, video makers, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, man. You just have to get over yourself. First, that's number one. Identify exactly what's holding you back. Okay, when I got started, I saw what was out there in terms of content, and I realized, you know, that I could do a better job of talking about this. Being very raw and authentic. And even if you go to my music licensing channel, by the way, what you're gonna see there is vlogs of a stay-at-home dad that has just relocated to Greece and is trying to make ends meet with his music. I had no tutorials there, okay? No tutorials. And in fact, I created my first course years after I was running that YouTube channel, okay? But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself, or I'm just talking too much about this. And forgive me if this sounds like a rant, or like I'm a little bit jaded, or like a jaded music licensing guru or something like that, or professor. But I'm not. I'm just trying to be as authentic as possible with you, and to let you know that the opportunities out there, man. And if you are looking for them, you will find them. You don't need someone like me or someone else to convince you that that's the right thing for you to do. Nobody had to convince me of making music for a living. Nobody had to convince me to come to live to this beautiful country. You know, if you need someone to convince you, then there is a big problem. Maybe you're not sure about what you want to do. There are some of us who might need a holding hand and help along the way. I truly believe in coaching. I truly believe in help. I believe in a step-by-step process that people do need, and a lot of people need support. But if the student is ready, the teacher will appear, or something like that. So anyways, I hope you have a great Monday. I hope you have a great week ahead, like we say here in Greece. Καλή εβδομάδα. I'll see you in another video, my friend.